And there we go. Got the game back up. So let's go over and see what we got goal-wise, what we're doing. So the goals on this one's a little bit different than the last one. We have to have at least 3,500 guests in the park. There's no time limit on that. However, it looks like we can't let the park rating go below 700 at any time. Now the last one, if you remember, we actually had, I think, 4 years to complete the 3,500 guests. But this one, since we don't have a time limit, we just gotta watch the rating. Thankfully, it's not that harsh with the rating. Is if it goes below a certain amount, it'll give you, I think, 6 weeks usually to get it back up to where it should be. So let's get the game going here. Got everything. So the park itself is actually not a bad little start. They actually have quite a few big coasters. This one's kind of famous. It's called the All-American Scream Machine. Very popular coaster that is no longer there, unfortunately. Then you also have these dueling wooden coasters, which is called Rolling Thunder. This one back here is called Medusa. That's a pretty neat one. And then you have this Runaway Mine Train type ride. I think they're actually called Runaway Mine Train. And then on the other side here, there's another coaster. It's like a Giga coaster called Nitro. It's a pretty neat one too. So I did get a little bit of just looking at the park kind of over on what I want to do. There's a huge amount of land here with just some trees we could clear out and have a great place to land there. Also was looking at back here as well, back by Medusa. There's a ton of great land here. Now, I've actually never been to this park, nor have I really looked up any park maps or anything like that to see what exactly, what rides are there. So I'm just kind of winging it from here. So I think we're going to start down here. Before we really begin, though, I want to get the research going. Let's see if we can get some more rides. Let's just focus on general and thrill rides for right this second. They're really easy to put in, especially for something like this. And I think, since we have a merry-go-round and carousel up here, we'll make this a little more like a kid-friendly area. So we'll put up some smaller rides, things like the haunted house, the bumper car, stuff like that. We may even do a really small coaster as well, like a junior coaster or something like that. And maybe like a miniature railroad, just kind of a small one, not really built for transportation, just to have a little bit of fun. So before we do that, we'll get some handymen in the parks. It looks like they were having some issues. And when I saw this the first time, there was a ride over here, like this, that had a ton of issues with litter. So I'm just going to put a handyman just on this path over here, just so that we can try to nip this in the bud before it gets really bad. Get that going here. And there's a little bit up front here. Let's see, is this the handyman assigned to this area? Not really. Let's extend this path just a little bit. We'll have that cleaned up. Let me double check and make sure there's nothing else around here besides the benches over here. That is kind of the issue. Because stuff like this can really affect your park rating. Things like, the litter of the path, along with the vandalism, broken lights, things like that, can really affect your park rating. So that's something we want to stop as fast as we can and get it taken care of, because if we don't, that can really impact our rating heavily and can make us lose the park in the scenario. So let's go ahead and we'll get that cleared up. We'll have another handyman do that. I think for now, that looks all right. There's a little bit of just spotted around, but I'm sure our handyman can take care of that. So let's go ahead and turn that back off, and we'll get started on this little, kids area back here. Now, I like this area here where you have to come in first and then it splits out, so I'm not going to put a path right in here. What I think I'm going to do, I want to bring the path down through here, and we'll start building some gentle rides. We'll put the haunted house right up against the fence here. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. There we go. Entrance and exit. Open this up. For kids area, maybe do a red path, make it a little more fun. Do a queue line, kind of snake it around here. We'll make a double wide path back in here, just so that we have a little more. We don't get too many complaints about traffic or anything like that, and then also can a lot more people back here as well. We've got the haunted house going. I think the rides are free, yeah. So this one we'll have to watch our gated mission. So after we get this area built, we can probably max it out. Usually it's somewhere around, you know, maybe $50 or $60. Well, it's just I'll show you what I do to look at how much to charge people here in a minute. So get all that taken care of. Let's keep building rides here. We'll make it look nice here in a second, but let's just build the essentials, kind of, you know, what we have so far, and then we'll take care of the beautification here in just a moment. I think I want to save kind of this back area for like a miniature railroad, so we might be able to put one more ride in here. I'm thinking maybe an observation tower might be kind of cool, like right at the front of the park, give you something to when you walk in, you see this big tower kind of welcoming you in the park. I think that'll be pretty nice. So I've got the entrance and exit down. We'll throw that on there, open it up, and let's go ahead and curve this back through there, nuke some of these trees, and then we'll just do that. Now, I really think this is kind of a narrow, like a small railroad through kind of this area of the park. I'm pointing at the screen, which I know you can't see, so I'll use it with the mouse. So, it's kind of back through here. I think it'd be kind of neat. And then maybe run a path, make a big U, and then maybe put a car ride in the middle here, and maybe a ghost train, something like that. I think something like that will be really nice for this park. And I do want to leave a bit of room. I didn't leave it over here, which I'm kind of upset about. Now that I look at it, but I think since all these line up, I might be able to run a monorail back through here. Is what kind of the goal is. I just want some transportation around the park, because this is a decently sized park, so I think that'll work. I think having some sort of transportation would help here. So let's go ahead and put the miniature railroad in, just to have it, so we know exactly where it's going to be at, and then we'll actually name this one, because since it is going to be a custom piece. We'll actually name it something. I'll have to think of a name. I know, you know, it's nothing to be special, or, you know, it's a small kid's ride. So it won't be something very aggressive, like some coasters are. Although it'd be rather funny if it had something like that. But no, I think I'm going to stick to, you know, let's back it up just a bit, and then we'll leave some room for our monorail later. Just kind of along the park border here. And I know it's up in the air, and it'll pretty much be out of the way of this thing, but at the same time, I do want to leave it some room, so it can at least go where we need it to go. Make a larger S curve there, and it'll probably cross over there, and then head out this way. Let's just make a nice big turn there, come up, go there, and then do the station platform there. I always like to put the entrance on the front here, and then the exit about halfway down, because some of these trains can be not massively long, but if, you know, all of them have to go to the end to unload, and, you know, just when you have longer trains, the people at the front have to walk all the way down the station platform, whereas if it's in the middle, all of them can meet in the middle and try to unload a little bit faster. So let's get 2 trains on this one. That's a weird thing for it to do. So it's only let me have 1 car per train, which should allow me more than that. Alright, I think there's some kind of bug going on here. Hold on. Oh, I wonder if it wasn't completed. That might be an issue. Alright, so let's do this. 2 trains. We'll do 5 cars. I think that's a good style. And then we'll paint them. Let's do different colors per train. And then we'll do train 1 will be red with green cars. And train 2 will be blue. Dark blue with... We'll do orange cars. So that's kind of the channel look. And then that's taken care of. Let's go ahead. I think I want to call it the Six Flags miniature railroad. Six Flags miniature railroad. So that's taken care of. Let's go ahead and open it up, even though we don't have quite the the path set up yet for it. Sneaking around here. And since it's an odd number, we'll go ahead and do something like this. Run the path here. So that'll be our path going around. Now, since we actually made this, we actually made a diagonal path here, our path can't be quite straight, which is nice because it gives it a little more variety, just to help break up kind of the monotony of all the grids and everything. And I kind of like that. So we got that taken care of. Let's go ahead and lay out where we want to bring this out at. I very well could put something on here and loop it from here down, back around, and then do a diagonal and split the path here and bring it connected up here somewhere and leave this for a little bit larger coaster, maybe something like a wooden coaster or something like that. I think that might be what I do. Let's go ahead and make this path just a little bit wider just so that people can get through there. And then we'll go ahead and start doing our diagonal pathing up through here. I won't bring it too far up, just so that if we do change our minds, we can fix it rather quickly. So there's that taken care of. We'll go ahead and put our benches, lights, and trash cans down. Let's see here. We'll do light, bench, and then trash can. I'm going to leave a space between each one just so that I've noticed in a lot of my games when I do this, I cram them all together. People do like to watch the rides go and watch things being built, and if you don't leave a space there for them to watch, a lot of times they'll just walk on by. And I think I like the idea of that because you can go online now and watch people. They'll be at an amusement park constantly, almost watching how progress is going on a new ride or a new show or a new entrance for a park, and Disney especially. So I'll leave some spaces there so people can actually get in there and watch anything that's being built. Let's continue with this. Put some benches down, trash cans, lights, bench. We'll leave that space there, so put the lights starting there, bench. Now I try to like to put lights at the exits, usually, even if it's supposed to be something else. I think that it helps it. I usually get some sort of reward for safety out of that, so that's what I prefer to do, if I can, that is. There, and then put some benches, trash can. We'll do one more set, just because after that I'm not 100% sure what I want to do after there. There, and there, and there. Put the benches down. One more light, and that'll be done for this area. Now, we do have this little area here that I'm thinking might be a nice area for some food stalls. And we can use the fence technique to make it look like a little bit busier area than it actually is. So let's go ahead and see what kind of food stalls we have. Cotton candy, very popular for something like this. I know when I used to work for Student Fair, one of our biggest sellers was cotton candy, especially in all the kids' areas. So we would literally make garbage bags full of just cotton candy. We'd bag them individually so they could be sold, but then we'd put them in garbage bags that would hold 20 or 30, bags each, and we'd make 20 or 30 of them as fast as we could, just to get enough out to people. So kids like pizza, so we'll put a pizza stall down here too. Charge $2 for that one. I'm starting to complain that we don't have an entrance to the burger bar, which is okay. So if anyone's curious what this fence technique is what you do. You place down a couple fences here, and then you place your path down on either side, and then when you clear it, it still leaves a gap between here, so you can actually put things like benches or trash cans along here. That's what I try like to do, just so that we can try to keep the litter down. And that does help, and it gives people a couple places to sit while they eat. So we got a couple food stalls. Let's put a drink stall up. We do just have the regular drink stall. Excuse me. And then we're going to plug that up. We'll go ahead and place a lemonade stall. And then we'll place down a ice cream stall. I think that'll be nice for, a good start for this area. We'll also place down a bathroom, probably on the other side here. I'm going to keep an eye on the money as well, just because money in this game can get kind of, or especially run out pretty quick. So I want to keep an eye on that and make sure we're still doing okay. So if you look at our rating, if you look in the bottom left-hand corner, you can see our rating. Right now we have, this top number is money, guests in the park, and then our rating. So right now it's an 876, which is it's about normal, especially for a park this size. Now, if we get behind on the litter and the throw up and stuff like that on the path, the rating can go down pretty quick too. So that's why I try to keep that under wraps, and then at the same time we want to make sure that we're constantly building new rides. That's kind of the two big ways you can actually keep your rating up, is keeping your park looking nice, and at the same time making sure you're always building new rides, so that you always have something to come back to. So now let's start doing some advertisements, just because this is also a big thing to do for this game. Helps also get more people in your park. Since we're already at 2,000 people, that's actually it's a good amount. Let's see. We'll do the free food and drink as well, and these only cost $600. And since we'll do ice cream, because we just put our first ice cream stall down, so that they'll come more to this side of the park. We're gonna go over here. We'll charge 50 cents for a park map. We're going to charge $20 for an umbrella, which seems kind of outrageous, and it kind of is. But if you actually go to most amusement parks, that's what we'll charge for an umbrella. And in this game, people will actually, when it starts raining, and that is, they'll actually pay whatever it is for an umbrella. So it's kind of a great way to earn some money really quick. Now, if you notice here, we're charging $30 to get in. The way I've seen the best way to make money in this game is kind of look at people when they come in. So this guy has $65. If you go to his cash thing, I should move it down here a little bit. So he has $65. Click on the next person. This person has $75. So right now we're still looking at maybe at $60. Let's keep on going. 65, 75, 75, 65. So essentially you're just trying to see what your lowest is. So right now it looks like it's about $65. Now it can vary from there. Man, this is a big parking lot. $85, $95. So it looks like right about $65 is about the lowest anybody will have. And so at that point we know that we can charge up to $65 and everybody can still get in. So we'll go ahead and crank up the price $30 to $5 because of all the rides we just put in. And I think that's a fair price for now. We haven't really built anything big. If we had built a new coaster, something like that, we could probably make that go by $10 or $12. But at the same time, I think for what we've built, I think $5 is plenty. Now we're running a little low on money right now, and we still have quite a few rides we can put back here in this area. So I'm thinking we might just need to take out the loan. Now in this game, loans are not nearly as bad as they have been in other games. You play games like Sim Airport or something like that, the loans can be just they cost you $50,000 or $60,000 a day. Thankfully in this game, the bottom one's always interest. So we had a $10,000 loan. It was only costing us $122 a day. So even if we triple that, because we're at $30,000, you're only looking at $360 a day, which is, usually a shop can make that no problem. But now we have $20,000 more that we can actually build more rides with. So I'm thinking we put, a classic slide down, because, who doesn't like a good slide in a park? There we go. For the entrance there. There's that. And I know we said we want to put a car ride in here. And I think what we'll do is we'll make like a nice entrance to it, maybe here. And then we'll put the car ride here, so it's a little offset from the path. We can even put another ride or two, maybe a bumper car or a the space rings. I think might fit well in here, or maybe both. And we can put our car ride back here that kind of expands or takes up this whole area here. Excuse me. So let's go ahead and do that. Now we do have a choice between either the car ride or the monster truck ride. I might do both, but I think I want to put the car ride in first. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll set the station off just a little bit there. I don't think this thing, yeah. So this does have a spinning tunnel. I don't know if we'll use that or not, but let's go ahead and start building this car ride. This will be relatively simple, kind of like how the train was. Nothing special. Just kind of a fun little ride for either kids or, adults looking with kids that look to cool off for a bit. I know growing up, one of my favorite rides at the Magic Kingdom in Florida was the Tomorrowland Indy Speedway. I used to look forward to that, going to ride that every time, and it's something similar to this. I think in here, I would suspect most of these are electric cars, just because it has that third rail in the middle. That's probably the electrified rail for the cars. But I always enjoyed riding those cars for whatever reason. And I don't know if it's just because I actually got to drive something, because I used to love driving. I would try to drive at every opportunity I could. Or if it was just that, it's kind of the Disney, car ride experience is really neat. Now it's changed a little bit since I last rode it, since they're doing new construction on the Tron coaster. But I would suspect it's probably still the same ride. It's probably similar to this too. So that's where I get the ideas from, is stuff like that. Previous experience. The park I had a small car ride for a little while. They tore it out to put a smaller coaster in there. And they, I think last year, reopened a car ride because so many people loved them. So let's go ahead and reduce the number of cars. We'll do maybe 15. Because 23 was a little much. That looks a lot better. And then we'll go ahead and make a nice line here. Bring that, do something like this. And then this, well, we want to cut it off like that. And then we can leave the trees inside of there. I'm okay with. I mean, we can still probably put, lose my voice. Give me 1 second, let me grab some water. Alright, that's better. We can still put something in here. Nothing huge because it's only 3 spaces wide. I'm not sure if or do we just want to, I might just do this. Let's block the path off there. We can put some nice flowers or some other decorations in there. We'll go ahead and start doing some of that just so that we can get the park rating up and going. Let's see. Put 2 of those in. Another reason why you'd want to do something like this is that you can get awards for stuff like this. The more I've done stuff like this, the more I realize you can actually win awards for the best decorations, the best flowers, things like that. Wildcat Park is, can be beneficial to you. So let's go ahead, let's put our lights and benches around here. Bench down, trash can, lights. But we won't leave a space there just because this corner here, I think it'll look a little bit better. Trash can, bench, or bench lights, then the benches, then the trash cans. We'll leave that open because I like this little plaza area, which that actually right there might not be a bad idea for a information kiosk. We'll go ahead and put one down there so people don't have to walk to the back or another side of the park just to get either a park map or a umbrella. I think it's a good idea. And we'll also continue on this side with the benches and everything like that. And then we'll leave that space open. And we'll put the lights and the benches down. Alright, so I like how this is coming together so far. Let's go ahead and do some decorating since we have, we got, our ratings starting to go, it's kind of up and down, but I think we got, some time right now. We can come back through here. We'll put some decorations down. Kind of looking through what we have right this second. Not really, nothing's really catching my eye. This kind of, I don't know what you'd call mine theming. That might be kind of cool for the train over here. So we'll go ahead and plunk a few of those down. I think we make it a little town maybe here. And then we'll put these up there. So we have like a little mining town here. A mine hut. Nothing really special about it. But we'll put that over here. Put it back from the railway just a bit. We'll put the shafts there, and we'll move one a little closer so it looks like you're kind of traveling past it. Put some logs up. Rotate them. We can't rotate it like that. We'll rotate it like this. And barrels are always a good thing. I was kind of hoping that would be a little closer. Oh well. I'll put some wheels down. I think it looks okay. We'll throw some trees back here just to kind of help break up the scenery so that it's kind of hard to see what this is while you're on the ride. But once you get back here, you can really see what it is. Go ahead and we'll do some land. Is that paint? That's what I was looking for. And let's go ahead and we'll kind of dirty this up just a little bit. It looks like there's been people here for a little bit. And then there we go. I think it looks nice for now. I wish we had a little more theming. Maybe if we get like a Wild West theming, put some more over here to make it just kind of fill it out, and maybe down here as well. So let's go ahead and we'll just do some more curbing along here. Make some nice flowers. Let's go ahead and just for this area we'll use the same paint scheme, but when we move to a different area we'll change the paint scheme so that it's not the same one over and over again. Right. Just go ahead and plunk some of those down. And I think we'll just use some of these as well. There we go. Looking at the rating, so we're still losing a little bit of rating. It's not plummeting, at least. There's some games that it'll just completely drop out from underneath you. So let's go ahead and connect this path up here so we have another way to get back here. We'll hire just a few, maybe 2 handymen for this area. We have one already covering that entrance, so we'll have one just for this area. And then we'll have one just to cover the area in front of the car right here, as well as in front of the food stand and the areas around that. Those areas usually can get pretty messy, so but hopefully these trash cans will help take care of that. This one here. Let's start moving back up towards this way. People want to know what's up here since it's all brand new, stuff like that. Now it's tempting to run a path back through here just so that the car ride and the slide and stuff like that is kind of blocked off. I don't know if I'm going to do that though since we have a path right here. So let's go ahead and we'll go ahead and connect our paths up here. Something like this. And then over and down. So we have a good loop now we can work with. And I think still we'll, let's take a look here. Because we could either do another car ride, like a monster truck ride, in the interior, which that's what I'm thinking about doing. And then over here, we might be able to do a junior coaster over here. I maybe do like a little bit larger coaster. Something. Let's see what we got so far. Maybe something like a Virginia Rail coaster, or maybe a mini coaster instead of a junior coaster. That might be what we do, and I think that'll fit well with the area as long as we don't go too crazy with it. And that'll lead back into like nitro and stuff like that, which I think will work well. So I think that's what we're going to head on or start doing. Let's go ahead and we'll do the monster truck ride first, because that'll be a little bit simpler to do. And that's also one of the reasons I wanted to start with gentle rides and thrill rides, so that we can get those really quick, because I know those are really easy to use. We can take care of those really quick. I'm looking at this one because that looks a little small. However, what we can do is take this ride and modify it to our own purpose. So I like how it's laid out, but what we're going to do is we're going to turn it a little bit, because the monster truck ride has a little bit more options than just a normal car ride. Let's go ahead and take out this section here, and we'll go ahead and edit it from here, since we want to make it a little bit longer so it fills this area up a little bit better. Look here, the only real difference is you can actually have steep slopes with this one, which is kind of neat. But I think if we want to do another steep slope over here, we will have to start it a little bit earlier, then we'll turn it. And then we'll just go ahead and we'll just make it longer here. We might have an S-curve through here, then back up. So let's see here. We'll go ahead. So along that line here, so we need to turn it down, down, down. Just round it out. And we'll do, since we have a little bit of space here, we'll do another log bump, so they can have a little bit more, bumpiness there. I think we continue with the same theming. We'll go ahead and open it up, since it already has all the cues and stuff like that done. We'll go ahead and keep with that theming. I kind of like the mining theming around this ride. Let's go ahead and we'll just go ahead and do this. Make it look like this is kind of the older part. Maybe that's something, you're going around this old mine area. I think that'll work. Where's the fence at for this one? I think that's quite it. There we go. We'll just fence it off to make it look like a little more secure, but still within theming. There we go. I kind of like that. And then we can go in here with some paint, just to make it look a little more, dusty, dirty, kind of like an old mine, like we did on the train. You can kind of set it apart just a little bit more. And then we can actually kind of come in with a little bit of grass as well, just to make it look a little bit more rustic. I kind of like how that looks now. So, that was maybe some of my own custom design, but they actually have some really good blueprints in this game anyways, so I don't mind using those at all. Throat's already getting a little dry, but it looks like we're still doing good on everything. Our guest count is still going up pretty well. Since we don't really have a time limit, it's kind of nice just so that we can actually take it a little bit slower. We don't have to try to rush and get, rush through a year, even though last time we actually were just fine on how we did things. So, thinking over here, we built our first custom coaster, and we'll do a junior coaster. And even though they have some great junior coaster blueprints here, I kind of want to make my own. So we'll go down. And I'm thinking maybe this area we make it like a Wild West kind of mining theme. I think it'd be kind of neat. A little bit different for a kids area. Usually, those are kind of saved for a little more adventure. Or, kids areas are usually themed by either a cartoon or just something Not usually, or usually they say like the the Wild West or something like that for they can be a little more thrilling because they can have rides like runaway mine trains or drop towers where you're like in a mine shaft or you're being shot out of a mine shaft. Mr. Like things that come to mind like Big Thunder Mountain Coast or Big Thunder Mountain Railroad at Disney. Mystery Mine at Dollywood is a great example of things like that. But it's it'd be kind of fun just to try something a little neat or try something a little different. So you're trying to make one area a little more cohesive around a theme, and I think mine might be kind of fun to do for a kids area. Now, if only we could get the now stuff like Planet Coaster, where you can have custom things, where you can maybe do like the gold painting that they have at some parks, or you can pick gems out of a souvenir thing. That'd be kind of neat for a ride. Now, this one seems to be pretty quick. I'm trying to think what to name it. That's always something I always have a little bit of difficulty with, is naming rides, and this one will probably be no different. However, since we're limiting ourselves to the mine, I need to back that up one. Since we're limiting ourselves to the mine theme, something that might come up, something might be a little easier to figure out just because we're working within that kind of area. So I do like to limit myself a little bit with that, just so that I can come up with names with a little bit easier and try to get some theming that can fit as well. How do I want to finish this ride? That's kind of the hard part. I could maybe bring it down and around. Do some bunny hops. That might not be the worst way to do this. We'll go ahead and get rid of this section though, and we'll just keep it banked so that it'll just, instead of throwing people around like that, it'll keep them banked just that little straight here. So go ahead and down, and then bank it this way. We'll come around with can't do the large one. Well, I'm trying to do it with the large ones, but I think we can do it with these. If you're curious what bunny hops are just hills that they go up and down. They give you just a little bit of time, a little bit of air time, which is where you come out of your seat. They call it negative G's in this game, and so it does. It gives your ride a little bit more thrill to it, and it makes it a little fun, especially for these coasters that really don't have anything like inversions or something like that. We'll go ahead and put the brakes on, and then the block brakes, so we can have at least probably 3 trains on this ride if we need be. Yeah, those what those are. Things like Giga coasters, they don't call them bunny hills, but they call them maritime hills. So it's similar to the fact. Let's go ahead and test this first before I open it up. So it's similar to the fact that you can. Airtime has been used for a lot of coasters. Wooden coasters use that especially as well. So that's what I was trying to do. If you see here, there's one over here as well, and I think there's a third one here. So we're just trying to give the ride a little bit more thrill that we can't have because these coasters don't go upside down. I'm looking at the pacing of the ride right now, just to see how it flows through the ride. If it's going too slow, if it's going too fast. Do I really need to bank some corners? Do I maybe need to take some banking out? But it looks like this ride's going pretty well. It'll get back around no problem. We'll look at the stats of it. See how we're doing. And actually, for a junior coaster, those actually aren't bad stats at all. So what we'll do is I will go ahead and open it up. I'm thinking about calling it the Galloping Horse, just because it's a not a too intimidating name. but it still kind of it still fits in with the theming that we have of kind of the the mining or Wild West, even though the path is completely wrong for it. We'll go ahead and keep that going there. That go down, and then we can just kind of plunk it around. We'll do this, make the ride just a little bit longer, and we can open the ride up. Then we'll go ahead and do our benches and our lights. Put the bench here, put the trash can here, put our lights there. I think I might have to, after we do this, we're going to have to look at mechanics. I keep getting messages about, if you look at the bottom here, it's our news, that these rides still haven't been fixed. I'm wondering if either we don't have mechanics to go to those areas, or if they're just getting too busy. Either one could be a problem. So we'll go ahead and after we get these down up to about the monster jam or monster truck ride, we'll go ahead and take a look and see what's going on. So you look here, or there was a person here looking, so that's why I like keeping a little bit of gap too. So they do happen. It might take it a couple, might take a little bit for someone to actually watch. Let's see, bench there, trash cans, lights, bench. And those are the last ones I do. Let's also get a handyman for over this side of the kids area, just so that we can keep litter and stuff like that down. Here, we're kind of missing this area. I don't know. It's got a big area to cover, but I think we can just do this. It'll be okay. Now let's look at mechanics. So we only have 6 mechanics. That's probably the reason we're having issues. So I'll place down 3 more. And then we'll do 4 because that seems like. Let's see how many attractions we have, because that might be. So we have 25. So I say attractions. Really, they're rides here. So we have 25 rides here. If you look here. Yeah, it's 6 people. That's a lot of rides to take care of for 6 people. So I think 10 will work. I'll keep 1 just for. We'll keep number 7 over here in the kids area, just for him to take care of just the kids rides over here, like that, and we'll just have him do everything like this. Now for these rides, they typically are pretty reliable, so I'm not too concerned about that for one guy. However, some of the bigger rides, yeah, it's very possible that something like this would not be great. We just got the Wild West thing, so that might be something we look at here in just a moment. And once we get these mechanics set back up. And I think that'll work. Now, since we put a coaster and stuff like that, I'm going to go ahead and raise the price up to 40. We'll do 45. Just because we have the money, people are, we're having a lot more rides. We're up to 25. We have some pretty good coasters going. The coaster itself, the coasters, that were just started with probably could have made $40 or, somewhere around there. So I'm thinking we're okay unless we get messages saying that we're not. So let's go ahead and look at the Wild West thing, see what we've got. And that would be not much. However, I still think we could put, let's see here. Maybe put some totem, maybe put kind of wary about this. What we could do, though, come to think about it, is we could put a small little town over here. Put some gallows up over here. And then put some unused wagons along the back here and over here. Once again, we'll go ahead and paint the ground just so that it looks like it's inhabited by this area here. We'll make it look like a little road going over to the mine, as well as we'll actually make just a couple different dirt patches, because if you ever play anything creative like this, you'll know that blocks of one color don't look great, but if you break it up with different colors of dirt or maybe some dirt mixed with grass, it can make it look a lot nicer for what you're working on. But I'm no expert at this. There's some people out there who are crazy good at stuff like this. But I do, want to make myself look nice. I do enjoy doing stuff like this, and even though I'm not the best, I can still enjoy what I do. Put some trees down so we can kind of block this area off. I think we can call, what we'll do, we'll put a little Indian village over here. Just some teepees, and then let's see, we'll put some here, we'll put some totem poles down as well. Just show, kind of four scenes here. We have the Indian village, and then we have the mine village, and then the mine itself, and then the town. So I think that'll work. And then what we can do is go to here. Kind of look for just some filler stuff. Nothing, exciting or anything like that, but just things that we can put in here and make it look like it's been, a little more built up. I think trees are always the nicest thing, so we'll go ahead and put some trees around the Indian village here. And then we'll go ahead and there. Use some of the smaller trees around here just to help kind of fill in. Alrighty. I think the galloping horse for now, it's okay. I'm not a huge fan of that, just kind of leaving it that blank. But it looks like we're done with general and thrill rides, so we'll go ahead and switch over just to roller coasters right now. And then we'll switch to shops and stalls, and then water, and then theming. Usually, I would prefer to go, especially for something like this, where your shops are kind of your secondary income for this kind of park. I would probably go for theming more, but since I'm more worried about the rating on this one. I think we're going to try to go for more rating, or try to get more rides in, so we can get the rating up and try to. If I can speak, it'd be nice. Try to get the rating up and try to keep more income in, so we can keep building the rides and keep the rating up as well. So I think that's how I want to do this one. I think, however, this might be a big enough area for a smaller, like a mini coaster, something maybe like either that one or the classic one. Although I think this one would fit a little bit better, but we're kind of getting out of the way here from the actual theming of the kids area, which, to be honest with you, it's kind of lackadaisical on how we did the theming. Really, the railroad and the smaller coaster have probably the best, and the monster ride, of course. So I'm thinking we can kind of get away with whatever we want to over here. And I love how Nitro's themed. It's just kind of generic, but it still looks a little more modern. I like it. So what we'll do, we'll do the rocket one, so it's the classic mini ones. We'll go ahead and do a 3 station here. I'm going to do a split station as well, so that we can actually unload and load at the same time. Especially for rides like this, it's pretty common. Just try to get more people through here. Go ahead and round this off. Go down a little bit. This one, I've never been a huge fan of these coasters. Just the fact that you have to try to manage, having 5 or 6 cars out at once. But I think with just some block brakes, we can take care of that. And usually these things are pretty compact anyway, so hopefully we can do quite a few just different things in these tighter areas. Let's see, we'll do up, and then I can't do that because physics don't work like that. We'll do some brakes, or block brakes again. We'll have it go down. We'll have it interact with the path just a little bit. Something very common with back up just a little bit more. something very common with coasters is they want to do something called path interactions. So what that means is that it gets really close to a path and either does either some sort of loop or something like a sharp turn, or it dives under or over the path. It's very common in newer coaster designs, and that what that does, it gets people excited about a coaster. It can make some really good photo opportunities as well. So even if you're not on the ride, you can actually have some. You can have a neat photo taking. Whether they ride past either right behind you or right under you, things like that. What I'll do here is I'll put a straight. I'm gonna put block brakes in. Then we'll want to put a second station platform. Now I know it's off center, but if I put the helix or the S-pin to the right here, I can connect them. Now I can have a train here at the top of the lift, block brakes here and here, block brakes here, and the station here. So I can potentially run quite a few cars on a circuit that's technically not very long. So let's go ahead. So it's already set to block section mode. It's suggesting 5 trains, which I'm okay with. And so there it goes again, where it says it was okay with two cars per train now, so I'm going to say 1. We'll try it with just 1. Let's see how this looks. I'm a little nervous that some of the cars won't make it all the way around. We'll see here in a second. Alright, so I don't understand what's going on quite here. This train should have all, unless there's a train already in there. Let's see through scenery here. Alright, so there's a train already there. Let's go ahead and cut it down to 4 cars. I know that's going to really limit how many cars we can get through here at once. However, I'd rather have a little bit more of a cohesive ride experience. So, you know, the trains are coming in and out really quick. And, you know, I'd rather have them stop down by the stations rather than just have them stuck out on the ride somewhere. And I'm thinking something like this would help. Because we have one on top of the hill, one in the loading platform, one in the unloading platform, and one behind the loading platform. So now you'll see all of them move forward here. The train that just went down the hill is still going, and it should be clear. It'll slow down quite a bit there, but it won't stop. And that's kind of what I'm looking at. I think I'd rather like that better than having them stop on the ride. Now I'm wondering, let's go ahead and close the ride here. Since we have 4 cars, it still won't let me. I'm wondering if it's because of the length of this platform. What I think I'm going to do because of that then is I'm going to redo the path back here. Let's go ahead and we'll run it there and there. We'll cut this path here. And what I'm going to try to do is move this coaster out 1, essentially do the same thing. But I'm going to add 1 more length to the station there so that hopefully I can have another station platform that might allow me to have 2 cars on each train, which I think will help with the capacity. Block brakes there, delete those, put the station in, and there we go. So let's see so it's let me have 2 cars a train now. Let's test that and make sure, just because I want to make sure that they still complete the entire circuit, because if they don't, then we got a bigger issue. But I think even with that, I think we're still okay. So we'll stop there. I wish the chain hill was a little bit faster, but I don't know if we can. We can. But 6 miles an hour is not that big of a difference. But we can still, you know, that's the fastest we can set it for right now, so that's okay. They still have to slow down, but I'm okay I'm a little bit more okay with that. Let's cut it to 5 miles an hour to see if maybe that gives it enough time to for that last train just behind the loading one or the unloading one to get into the stations. Okay, so it's about the same. Kind of at a loss here how to do this. I think we'll leave it here, even though they slowed down a little bit, which kind of I'd rather have it not have those block brakes there, but without those they have to stop back at the very bottom of that hill. But at the same time, why would I need brakes there? If I take these brakes out here, because they would have to stop there though. So what if we... These are the kind of dilemmas I have quite a bit, because you want your ride to get as many people through it as fast as you can, but at the same time you're kind of wasting time unless you pause it, of course. So let's see. You know what? I'm not going to worry about it anymore. Since this ride is rocket themed, I think I'm going to call it Liftoff. Just kind of a simple name. Nothing simple there, or nothing too out of the ordinary there. What we'll do is I'll bring the line up here first, and let's see if I can do that. I think I want to do this because something like that. I think that'll work, and we'll go ahead and open it up. We still haven't seen the stats on this one as well. I'll go ahead and crank it up to $50. Remember, our max is going to be $65 on this one. Let's see here what we got. So, I mean, intensity and excitement range is pretty good, especially for smaller coasters like that. I'm okay with. So that's. I think we'll be okay with this. We'll go ahead and take a look back at what. So right now, this is all we've done in technically a year in the game. So I think so far it's not been too bad. I wish we had a little bit better theming so that we could actually fill in the car ride a little bit better, especially the galloping horse. I think if we could fill those in just a little bit better, I think I'd be a little more happy with this area. But it's still not a bad little area. I think it works for what it is. So now I think we can move on. I'm still trying to think what I want to do with this area. But now we're getting to the point, or the areas with a few more thrill rides, maybe a little more just kind of for the general public. I'm starting to notice something here. We've got a lot of throw up, a lot of trash around. I think what we need to do is hire just a couple more handymen. Put the one over here. Try to clean this area up a little bit better. Let's do that. Since he's there, I'll have him move over here just for a moment. Have him start covering this area as well. Just kind of this strip here. You know what? I won't have him go down this far, but I'll have him come up to these rides here and work on that area here. That was this handyman over here. And then I'll hire one just for this area, since it seems like we're having a lot of issues with it. There. And let's have him go around a big loop like that. And I think that'll work. But I am kind of wondering, why is there so much trash over this area? The vomit I can understand, because there's a lot of rides over here. So what I think I'll do is, first of all, I want to connect the path here so that people can get over to the skyride a little easier. And because of that, I'll make sure that wasn't going out of control first. Because of that, I think what we can do, we can put the bathroom in a first aid stall here. I don't think quite the skyrides was what making people sick. However, I think this area is kind of a good area for what we're going for. And then this area we can use to build some of the thrill rides we're still missing. Even though I don't think we quite... we don't have bumper cars, we don't have space rings. We don't have the flying saucers. I really kind of want to put the bumper cars in somewhere. Maybe over here. We'll leave some space in between there and the haunted house. Open this up just to get, because you know, every good park needs some sort of bumper cars, and we'll go ahead and do that. And then I think we can put either the space rings. The space rings. I think they're just kind of a neat idea. Put those in over here just to fill that little spot that we had. That and the bump cars have the greatest music in the game. All right, so I think we got that section, those taken care of. I think we didn't spend too much money on it, and I think we're going a lot. I think that'll help keep us going for a little bit. But I really think maybe let's go ahead and start our advertising back up. Let's do the cheap ones for now. And we'll do cotton candy this time. Just tell people to get to that part of the park. Now, let's look at some thrill rides here. Do we have a scrambler? We don't. Let's go ahead. We'll elevate it a little bit because we can. Rides like this, I do like, if you want a little bit of variation, you can either raise them so that you have to, your path isn't just switch back and forth. You have to kind of make sure they go down, and then we can fill in like that. Since we're going to a new area, let's go ahead and use the cobblestone path that we have going on here. Down, and then we'll be going out like that, so we have a little plaza area there. And so I know raising rides is actually a good way to just to kind of set things off so that, they're not all like just a block of rides right together. That's kind of how the general rides kind of look right now. But I think breaking up with a few trees is what they can help as well. So we'll do this one. I'm only making it 100 foot tall just because that ride can get extremely going pretty quick. I actually have built one too fast before, and no one wanted to ride it because it was I think 250 some feet, but they were going like 70 or 80 miles an hour before they hit the bottom here. So we'll cut it off there, and we'll put maybe one more thrill ride here. There's a motion simulator. It's a small one. I like it. I'm thinking we could put it there, but we have to put the entrance and exit kind of close. You know what? We'll do that, and then we'll do it there and there. We'll open it up, and I'll show you why I did that. I'll put the path here, and then I can use this little 3x4 area to build the Q4. What we could do is I'm trying to build the best path I can. We can put something in there maybe a little later on when we get the theming that we like for there. But we can put another ride here. So we can have 4 thrill rides that I'm thinking about putting this theater here. Go ahead and point that down there. Put that there. We can put the exit just going out to the main path there. Open that up, and then we can actually attach this queue to this path here, or we can just start putting lights and stuff like that there, just so that kind of keep a little more consistent across the park. So there's that taken care of. So we got that little area filled in with some good rides. You gotta feel this area is gonna be pretty popular. So putting some, we have some food stalls along here, and there's a lot of trash cans. I might just go ahead and put a bunch of food stalls along here, just because we have all these trash cans and like that, that we can actually use for that purpose. Now, since we are going to make this a food court area, I'm going to put just a janitor on this area, because I know this will get really or can get messy really quick, and I've already seen some trash cans that are starting to get a little over full. So let's go ahead and put some food stalls in here. I haven't seen a seafood cart in here yet, so let's go ahead and put one of those down. We'll charge $2 for them. Put a donut shop down, because apparently we actually already have one. We'll make it $1 for a donut. And then popcorn stand down. Yeah, I don't know if this is kind of a better way to do things than trying to spread them out. But to me, it would make more sense that you would have just sections of this stuff. So right when you come in, you have a bunch of food sections. So if people want to eat, they can. We'll put some merchandise shops as well, because that's kind of a big thing. When they leave, they want to get merchandise. That makes sense to me. And there's another one, a balloon stall. Balloon stalls for some reason in this game are just amazing. Put it as $1. It still, does go crazy. Let's see here. We already got, I think this souvenir stall sells hats, doesn't it? One of these sells hats, because I see people walking around with hats. So we won't worry about that. We'll put a sunglasses stall down though. Because apparently that's a big thing in amusement parks. I know when I used to work merchandise, we used to have to keep those full, because if we didn't, people would just demand them. So let's see here. Fried chicken, we'll put that one down. And then yeah, I think that'll work for now. You see these people are going crazy over all these food stalls now. So to me, that makes the most sense, but there might be a better way to do the things like this. Just because, it might be easier to spread them out. But the way I think about it is, if you can centralize everything, and then you put trash cans around there, you can really help eliminate any litter in your parks. So that to me makes the most sense. Profit wise, we're still in the red, but we've been building a lot of stuff. So if you really take that out, so take the $3,400 we were making this month. We're actually well over on the profit. But we still want to keep building the park out as fast as we can. And let's go ahead. I'm a little hesitant to move it to 55, but let's go ahead and do it, because we haven't had any complaints yet about it. Speaking of which, let's go ahead and see what the people are talking about. A lot of people talking about crowds. I'm a little concerned about that, but I mean, at entrances and exits, it looks like that's kind of where they were talking about them. And up front, that's kind of hard to change, because everybody has to come in and out of the park. In rides, you really only have one exit for, so it's kind of hard to do that one. Bars clean and tidy, it's always a good one, and I'm hungry and I'm thirsty. Hopefully the food stalls I just put down will help. Looks like some more. I'm kind of concerned about the bathroom one. Let's see where people are needing to use the restroom at. So towards the front of the park. Back here might not be a bad place to put another bathroom. I know we put one right over here, but especially along these throw rides here, it's a bit of a walk to get over there. So let's go ahead and put some restrooms in over here. Oh, there's a restroom right there, so never mind. Let's see where maybe the other place that they're saying they need to use the restroom. Alright, over here. Let's go ahead and we'll put both the bathroom and the first aid stall down. Just because we got a couple big coasters over here, and if we want to put some throw rides in, that'd be great along here as well. So let's go ahead and put those down over here. There we go. Now let's go ahead and zoom out. Let's take a look. Okay, I was trying to think what that was. That's actually like a little food area as well. I like mine a little bit better. That's okay. So this is what we've got done so far. So we've really only worked on this side of the map. Let's go ahead and move to the other side. We're by the Great American Scream Machine and Rolling Thunder and stuff like that. Now I keep seeing that this ride keeps breaking down, so let's go ahead and move its maintenance up to every 10 minutes or so. I don't know why it keeps doing that, but yeah. We'll go ahead and let's start building some rides over here just to help draw more people over this side, especially since we have an overcrowding problem. If we can get more people to this side of the park. Hopefully we can draw crowds over there, over to this side, so that people ride more of these rides, as well as try to pull more people there, so we don't have as many people complaining about crowds. We have a magic carpet. We don't have a magic carpet ride, so we'll go ahead and start out with one of those. I'm thinking maybe here, entrance and exit there. We'll open the thing up, so we can run in, put the paths down real quick. Just gonna loop it back around like this. And then, I think Enterprise we don't have yet, so I kind of want to know which side. Alright, so the hinge is going to be over there. I kind of want to have it just sitting over the water just a little bit, so that when they're spinning, they actually see, they can actually see over the water, which I think would be kind of a neat idea. Let's go ahead, just pass out. One. Well, where they can't get the entrance to Enterprise 1 because I haven't built the entrance path yet. And sometimes I don't understand those messages because they pop up so fast when you're building something. I don't know. Unless the only thing I can think of is someone wanting to really ride that ride, and they're trying to look for a path and they can't find it, and that's why they pop the message up. Which I understand with programming, it can be like that. Just wanted, pathfinding AI. They want to find this place, they can't. It pops an error message. So we have a top spin over here. We got a roto drop on the other place. Motion simulator, swinging inverter. I guess we don't have one of these yet. So we'll go ahead. We'll put it over here. We'll give a little room to the Enterprise there, and then we'll go ahead and build the paths out. There and there. Path straight out there, and then put some trees in, just so we can kind of keep this, a little more wooded. Because it seems like this part of the park's a little more in a wooded area. I'll just go ahead and do something like that. And that's not too bad. We'll go ahead and put our lights in as well before we forget. Alrighty, so that's taken care of. Let's see what other throw rods we can put in here. Just that. And also, I'm thinking maybe over here we can leave a little bit of space. We'll put some sort of water ride in here. I think that'd be kind of fun. Put the dock here. We'll kind of have it go out here and kind of loop back around. So people over here are like, "Oh, there's a water ride here. We should go ride that." I think that'll be a good place to do it. I think that would be a good thing to do. Just have a little fun. So I think maybe the last thing we do over here is a launch free fall ride. We'll go up to about, we'll do 150 feet on this one. Now I probably won't launch them up that tall, but we'll see. Let's go ahead. We'll put the path in real quick, just so that I don't forget. I'll leave a little bit of room, just so that if we want to put some decorations in, we can. And then let's go ahead and test it to see how far it goes up. Let's go ahead and crank to 49 miles an hour. We go a little bit faster on that one. Yeah, I think that'll work. You also got to remember that with the people on the ride, there's going to be a little more weight to it. So even launching at 54 miles an hour, it's not really guaranteed that it's going to get that tall. So let's go ahead and open it up. And, within a matter of minutes, we actually have a decent, looking size area that people can come over here, hopefully draw a little more people over here to this side of the park. We're actually almost at the goal already. We're at 3,200, and I think our goal is 3,500. So we really don't need that much more, and we could probably get this one done relatively quick. Now, problem is, what do we build next? Because it seems like I think we built all the thrill rides so far. We've built I think all but maybe 2. No, it's starting to itch. All but 2 of the general rides. I don't think we've put a big or a Ferris wheel in. Not really sure. You know what? Let's go ahead and put a show. Essentially, that's what I consider the circus is a show. I don't really consider it a ride, but I think over here might not be a bad little area for it. Especially since the merry-go-round's not that far away. Kind of the same idea. Could have put it maybe a little closer. You know what? That might be a better area. Let's go ahead and move it. Because I think over here, kind of this fenced-in area, I think that'll work a little bit better. And we can put the entrance here, the exit over there. Open it back up. Then we'll go ahead and just draw the line out. That didn't connect because the fence there. Line out to there. And then go ahead and do that. You know, we'll make the brown path just kind of fit in with the rest of it. I think that'll work. Let's go ahead and raise our price once again on the entrance. $60. We're getting close to the max. Probably within maybe another couple more rides. You know what? Let's just go ahead and crank it up to 65. If people start complaining, hopefully they'll either. I mean, we'll lose some people maybe, but at the same time, hopefully here soon, we can. Hopefully they won't, just because we have enough rides. But I think we have enough rides now that we should be okay. Now I'm just kind of looking through. So I'm thinking about making a looping coaster in front of the corkscrew coaster. Maybe right in here. I think that might be kind of fun. Let's do that. Build just a smaller coaster. And nothing too major. And essentially, it'll be a shuttle coaster. Just kind of back and forth. We'll leave it at about 75 feet. And go forward. We might try to do 2 loops. And then back to the right. I don't think we're going to have quite the room to do that. Well, it's going to let us build over the path here. So let's go ahead and give it a try. Set it to the correct one is the first incline launch. Let's go ahead and test. Oh, we got to build the entrance and exit first. Let's go ahead and test it out and see how we do. I think I already have a name for this one. I think I'm definitely call it. Yeah. I'm having trouble speaking now. I'll call it Flashback, just because since you're going forward and backwards to it, I think that'd be kind of a clever name. So we'll watch it go, and should be just fine. Yeah. So I'll go back through the loops here. And back down. Alright, so I think I like that. Go ahead and make the entrance and exit path. We'll let it test one more time so we can get the stats going for it. We'll go ahead and snake the Q path down through there and out to the main path. Nuke the main path. There we go. I'd rather have it out facing the main path though. There we go. And there's that taken care of. Go ahead and open this right up. So Flashback is now open. We'll go ahead and let's put our lights in. And the benches. And trash cans. And there we go. And we have a little area here. I wish we had another throw rod or 2 we could put in here just to help fill that out. But we're getting so close to our goal right now. We have plenty of park rating. Our guest count is almost at the magical 3,500. We got 3 weeks remaining still on those. Thinking about trying to maybe run a particular ride one for Flashback. Go ahead and do that. We'll only do that one for 6 weeks. Just try to get that little bit extra boost on the people generation to hopefully get enough people in here. Let's look at water rides, because I was looking at water rides. I'm thinking maybe a submarine ride, just to explore, you know, have something in this little river here. We'll go ahead, try to think. Maybe there we'll have to go up and over the ride, and I think that'll be fine. I just have to do a turn and have it go out this way. There we go. So we'll have to put the entrance and exit on these last two squares here and there. Also, I want to tear up. You know what? Let's go ahead and take out this little bank here, and we'll make the path come up through there for the exit. There we go. We just do. Hopefully, this will work. It should. There we go. We'll connect to the path just up like that. Now we can connect, or we can build the rest of the ride just like this. Out, turn again. That's no big deal. And we'll have it go something like this. And back around to there. Yep. So that'll work. Let's go ahead. How many submarines we got going on this one? We'll go ahead and do 10 of them. Open it up. I think that'll work. And then we can do our Q path. We'll go up to that, cross, and we'll just bring it right over where the submarines are, so that essentially the guests can get a view of the submarines before they get on them. That's a good idea. So we got that going now. We're kind of just waiting. Starting to run out of ride ideas. Because we're getting towards the point where we're starting to end this campaign. Let's see here. What else we want to do? I'm trying to look at. I wish this one I don't think I like as well as I would the first one. So the first one had a little bit more ride variation. Maybe that's just my thinking. It might be totally different. But, yeah. Now, I think this might help it, just kind of push it over the top. We'll do another coaster like we did Flashback, but we'll use the inverted coaster instead. We'll do the half loop, do a corkscrew to the right. Select the right one. And then a corkscrew back to the right, and then another half loop. If you've been to a lot of like regional amusement parks, you'll see a lot of these coasters. They're called boomerangs. Relatively common. They're pretty standard for most amusement parks. We'll do about 55 feet, and then we'll go on the other side, build chain. I always like building the back one just a little bit longer so that it has a little bit of run-up room. Just in case something does happen. Usually times it never does, so. And there we go. We got one done. Took us just over a year and a half to do. So yeah, there we go. One down. We'll go ahead and finish the ride up since we already started on it. Enter the name. Got that taken care of. Let's go ahead and we'll test the ride, and while we're testing it, we'll build the path for it and everything like that. We set it to the wrong mode, reverse incline launch, and we're going to test it. Hey, PGMW, I'm doing great. Yeah, we just finished that park up. This one actually seemed a little bit easier, money-wise, but yeah, I'm doing great. Hope you're having a good day as well. Thanks for hanging out with us. Let's go ahead and we'll just finish this off to make sure we have a complete park. So if we ever want to decide to come back, we won't have a bunch of just dead ends going on here. Oh, good. I'm glad you're having a good day. Let's see here. It looks like the ride's doing really well, so we'll go ahead and open it up. And that is taken care of then. So we got one done. It's not even 2:30. I did fix the layout. I did take some advice. I was kind of curious if maybe covering up the top buttons were kind of a nuisance, which, you know, I can fix that too, and maybe have it cut off about here where the layout is, so you can see all this. But I think for now, I think I like this as well. Things like seems are, you know, you can see all the messages popping up, you can see all the stats and everything. So I think that'll work better. So what I think I want to do, I'm going to take just a 2 or 3 minute break real quick. We're going to use the restroom real quick, and then I'll be back. And I think we'll just go ahead and start the next one. Just keep it going. So let's go ahead and save the park here. Use that system dialog. It just kicks me out of the game. Pop that back open. Quit the menu. Right. I after I thought about that, I think that is a little more important. So let me be right back. I'm going to use the restroom real quick, and I will be back to you guys. Alrighty, I am back here. Let's go ahead and let me get the park back open here. Go ahead and pause it real quick and let me get back to the game screen. Ooh. There we go. Still getting used to my hotkey buttons. But welcome to Holland. That's where we're at now. This is Six Flags over Holland. So, you know, kind of the same idea. This one we don't have a park rating, but we do have a time limit on this one. So we have to have 3,500 guests in year 4 with a park rating of at least 600. So pretty much I like this first one, but different park. I haven't actually seen this park yet, so this is kind of the first time I've seen it too. Funny, and it's like I haven't really looked on, I haven't really looked at the map yet. This is kind of a familiar design. If you're watching this, a couple minutes ago. Another boomerang here. It's like I haven't been to a Six Flags park before. I used to work for Cedar Fair, so I've been to a couple of their parks. I've been to Walt Disney World a couple of times. And I've also been to places like Hershey Park and Silver Dollar City. So I've been to a couple of different parks, but I don't think I've ever been to a Six Flags park. I'm trying to think what the closest one would be. Cincinnati. I'm thinking maybe Great American, which is in New Jersey. I think it is. There's kind of in the Midwest. They're kind of spread out. There used to be one in a place called Geauga Lake, which was a pretty big, or one of the biggest amusement parks in the world, but they closed it down quite a few years ago, so I never got a chance to get up there. So this one seems quite a bit different than the last one. Although I think there's some good areas we can use to build some bigger rides as well. Let's see here. Also, this not even a Six Flags park anymore? So I think that's what it seems like. So isn't Wallaby a different company as well? They build a lot, I think, in like Australia, if I'm not mistaken. Well, let's get the park going so we're not wasting too much time here. Let's go ahead. I think what we need to do, I'm thinking maybe I think it's maybe this area we start out with. We're on a path through here. We'll make like a gentle, mixed area here. So I think that'll work well. Get rid of the fences there. Oh, gotcha. Oh, that's like, and I know parks kind of change hands. It doesn't happen too often, but it does happen here. This happened to Geauga Lake. Originally, it was a I can't remember who owned Geauga Lake originally, but it was sold to Six Flags and became Six Flags World of Adventure. And then Six Flags had some hard times and sold it to Cedar Fair. And Cedar Fair had already had 2 amusement parks in Ohio. And so they just pretty much dismantled the park and moved the rides out to other places. And then when they did that, they closed the park down. But apparently it was one of the biggest in the world. It actually had it was the amusement park itself, which the park itself was pretty big. Then it had a SeaWorld in it. So it was SeaWorld, Geauga Lake, or whatever it was. And then they also had a water park there as well. Apparently you can still actually see most of the water parks still up there. But the rest of it's pretty much been torn down. Speaking of lakes, I think maybe over here by this big lake over here, maybe a nice observation tower. Be kind of neat. We'll throw in the entrance and exit over here. Go ahead and open it up. It is a double-decker too, so I think it's kind of nice as well. Go ahead. Well, if I can't draw a straight path here. Huh. That's interesting. I should keep up more with things like that. I know from what I remember, when Geauga Lake closed down, they moved one of the rides to the park I worked at. It was called something. It was called like X up at Geauga Lake, and they renamed it to Firehawk. Is what it became at my park. The launch coasters. Oh, gotcha. So we might have to, I don't know exactly where they're at exactly, but maybe we should try to rebuild some of these rides just to have some fun. And they have a new coaster which isn't in here, which might be kind of interesting. Lost Gravity sounds like either a vertical drop coaster or something like that. It's something like with a lot of airtime in it, which that might be kind of fun to build as well. Let's see. Do we have a haunt? I don't think we have a haunted house yet. So we'll go ahead and start working on these, and then we'll start looking at the coasters here shortly. Because it seems like a lot of Six Flags parks. Six Flags seems very similar to Cedar Fair, which is they build a lot of coasters and stuff like that, and every once in a while they'll build some of the smaller rides. But it seems they're a lot more focused on some of the bigger rides. Now that might be kind of a little bit interesting to build. Trying to build a corkscrewing limb coaster in this game, but we can give it a try. I mean, the worst thing we can do is horribly fail. And you know that sometimes can make some interesting stuff happen as well. So let's go ahead, we'll open this up. I kind of wedged the bumper cars in here. I don't know if I like that or not, because I think there's other rides in here that are a little bit smaller maybe. Not really, because I think that's, you know what, we're moving the bumper cars because I think they're too big for that area. I think the space rings will fit a little bit better. We can put the exit back where it was, but then move this around. Come on. There we go. I think that'll work. The crooked house in. It always seems like in these parks, though, is I always start out with the kids area, just something small, because it seems like that's what a lot of these rides or a lot of the parks miss, is either a real small like kids area, which kind of makes sense for games like this, because they want you to build the big coasters and stuff like that for the rides. And I don't know, I kind of like having both, a mix of, you know, the big coasters and having stuff for more families and stuff like that. I think this looks a little bit, you know, more realistic to me, so I think that'll work a little bit better. And then we can just move this path down to here so it just doesn't dead end. Bring that back around like that. Alrighty, so we got some rides in here. Completely forgot about research here. Let's go ahead and just set it to general and throw rides. Miniature golf course maybe. I don't think I've built one of these on stream yet, so let's go ahead and put one in. I think it'd be kind of fun. Alright, so where we're talking here, is the log flume in here? So there's a log flume. That's the Flying Dutchman. Robin Hood. Alright, so I don't see La Via, but there's a log flume. So somewhere in here was the kids area, which, you know, makes sense. I don't know, maybe that's just, you know, when you know, a couple of my friends, we would get together. Oh, it's the Boomerang. Oh, so it's this one. Oh, there it is. Funny enough, so it's this area then. Okay, I guess that makes sense. And it's more towards the front of the park, I guess, as well. Because how we always thought about it is that the kids areas were always towards the front of the park, and as you move back was the more, you know, teenager and adult sections. So that's why I always thought your big coasters were in the back. And so I guess that makes sense to where it's at too. So go ahead and we'll put in just a basic golf course, nothing too fancy. I'm trying to go to there's a hole that curves to the right. That's what I'm looking for. That's what hole 3. We'll make a 9-hole golf course just to, you know, make it a little different. And let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4. This will be hole 5. And then 6. Whoops. It happens. I'm still, you know, it's just kind of an automated thing that I've got set up just to kind of avoid stuff like that. But, you know, it happens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We'll move that, and then we'll just do another hole A. And then one more, maybe a B. Let's not do it, let's do a C. And we'll just turn this around. Entrance and exit there and there. Open the park up, or open the golf course up. Alrighty. So there's that taken care of. Not a bad area. You know, kind of generic, which is for kids areas in this game probably not the worst idea in the world. I really kind of want to move on to building some of the bigger rides though. Let's work on our advertising because we all know how important that is. Free food or drink. What kind of... We do free pizzas. And then we need to look at our... Try 2 more mechanics, and we'll hire another handyman or 2 for this area. Because it looks like we're already starting to get a little bit of trash in here. We need to set up our typical lights and benches. There, we'll start them here. Bench. Yeah, trash cans. Leave space there. We'll put the lights there and there. And I misclicked. Put trash cans here and there as well. Just there we go. Put some benches. And some trash cans. I can figure out what's going on with Merlin's Magic Castle, because apparently it sounds like it just keeps breaking, either breaking down or there's just no one to fix it. So let's, after this, it's like I gotta look at that here in a second. Ooh, we got face-off cars. Now with those, I think those are for the inverted compact coaster, and I always like using those. There's a scenario really early in this game that is amenity airfields that I know once you get those coasters, it's one of the better coasters you can get like right towards the beginning. So I really like the kind of the face-off cars, and I think they also raise the capacity of just the coaster itself. So I think that helps quite a bit as well. So okay with how the lights and everything are here. I'm gonna get rid of one that's kind of bugging me right. I'll get rid of those on the right there. I think this will work for me. And then I want to bathrooms first, because I know people are complaining about bathrooms. We'll put bathrooms up over here. Let's see where else people are complaining about bathrooms. So over here probably wouldn't be a bad area for a bathroom. So I mean, at least we have restrooms in this game. Let's see here, over by the wall here, so there's a bathroom right there. Maybe put a bathroom right here. You know, I always thought, you know, when I originally started working at amusement parks, well, I would play this game. And I'm like, man, there's people want bathrooms. It seems like everywhere, like every 10 feet. And then when I started working there, I realized that yeah, there is probably a bathroom, at a park. Maybe every 80 or 90 feet that you go, it's like there's a bathroom within either line of sight or within 2 or 3 minutes walking. So I always thought that was hilarious when I started working. So. Kids area set up. We got the park going at least. Let's go ahead and raise our prices since we're only charging $25. Let's go up to $35 an hour. I'm trying to see here what the lowest people come in with. Right now it looks like it's $60. Let's see here. It's $80. $80. $70. $80. So it's either going to be $50 or $60 because usually there's 4 price ranges they come in at. And it looks like 60 is being pretty constant. So 90 is probably kind of rare. Oh, so there's $50. So it's actually going to be $50. So that's the max we're able to charge for this place. And I think, to be honest with you, that should be a good price point. Alright, so we've got that one built up. Let's see here. I really kind of want to build a big coaster. I'm kind of in the mood for that. Although, money-wise, I don't know if I have quite the money for it quite yet. Let's go ahead and put another handyman down here just to help cover this area a little bit. Maybe something over here that kind of plays with the lake a little bit and the small like island here. It might be kind of fun. Some kind of coaster we can build. We have a Giga already. Got a wooden coaster, corkscrew coaster. A looping coaster I'm kind of inclined on, but at the same time we really don't have... let's see, we're going to take roller coasters as well. I like the idea of putting a coaster here. I just don't think we quite have the one I want yet. Something maybe like a launch coaster, where you have the station here, and then we make a left turn and we launch them out over the water. That might be kind of fun. Something like that might be kind of interesting just to see. So I think I'm going to hold off on that area just for right this second until we get something a little bit better. However, maybe back here might be a fun one, but there's not really a path leading over to it. Maybe over here by the boomerang, we might... So, where the kids area should be, we were going to build a big coaster. I think that's a good idea, at least. So I think go for a looping coaster, because interesting. So I think what I want to do, I'm going to try to make these make it have interlocking loops in it, just to try to see if we can do it. I know you actually get a bonus for it if you can do it, which I think would be kind of neat to do. Let's get this up here. We'll do the classic dip right before, and then do a U-turn. Bring this down. Drop it. Let's see, that's going down 45 feet. We'll do the loop here. And then what we'll continue down. We'll turn the coaster. I'd like to level it out. What is that music? Is it? It must be that carousel. That's one thing I can think of. Maybe that's making that music. It was just kind of real slow. Everything. It was kind of odd. All right, let's see if we can get this. So look at that. First try, we can get it to work. And I think I already have a name for it, which is it's a miracle. Usually I have such a hard time with names, and today I can just come up with them and. No time flat. However, we are out of money, and that's what I was kind of worried about. So let's go ahead. So let's take a $30,000 loan out, because this is going to be kind of a exactly additional excitement. And I think I'm going to call this figure 8 because it looks like the loops make an 8 out of it. So either figure 8 or what? Crazy 8 might not be a bad name either. Let's see here. Let's go up. And then let's see here. We'll go ahead and kind of switch back it through here, and then we'll have it drop again. And then we'll do just some bunny hops real quick. Just get some additional airtime for the guest. Go here. We'll bank it. Oh, actually, let's do a helix real quick. Maybe a helix up large. I think that'll work. And then we'll continue turning just so we can get out of the loop. We'll go down and we'll bring it around here. Let's make this flat a little bit more, turn it then, and then we can put our brakes here. And let's get rid of these trees because they're going to be in the way. Let's back it up just a little bit more. Make it a small turn, so bring it out just a little bit more. Not that far though. Turn it. And then brakes, straight. Block brakes, and then... I'll have to back it up. We might just have to do right into the block brakes. And then... I do something wrong here. Hold on. Brakes, brakes. Lock brakes. And then the turn. There we go. So I want at least 2 trains for this coaster because I know it's going to be kind of long. And then I have everything set up there. We'll have it come down through here and just link up to the path there. And we'll call it Crazy 8 because I like that one. 8. There we go. We'll give it a test real quick. We're only running 2. Yeah, we're only running two trains on this one, which I'm okay with because that's all I expected out of it. Go. Now I know a loop right in the middle of the drop is not the best idea in the world. There was a coaster like that at there's a Busch Gardens, and I can't remember what the ride was called at the time. They had a loop right in the middle of the drop, and apparently it was like a very jarring loop. But I think for this ride it kind of works. But you know, that's just me. All right. That was a great sound. I would say it's hilarious when the merry-go-round shuts down and the music just goes crazy. I do like it. I think you know, I like building a little more realistic stuff, and I think this one's on that side of more realism. Yeah, and I think I would ride this ride at least. Although I think it would have more than just a lap bar, then more than just a lap bar, and it'd probably be an over-the-shoulder harness like a corkscrew coaster. But yeah, I think it'd be quite a great ride, and I think it fits well in that area. It's kind of a weird area because there's not really much room to put a path, like to put a station lengthwise here, because you have the boomerang coaster. You have that boomerang coaster here, so you'd have to either put the station really back here or try to do this like U-turn right at the end here. So yeah, I really like it. Yeah, I think this fits well in the area. Stats are really good. The nausea rating, I'm actually kind of happy it's low, or medium at least. So let's go ahead. We'll put a first aid station over here just in case, because I know how that can go. And that's taken care of. Let's go ahead and raise the price on the admission, because we just built a new coaster. Put it up by $5. I think that works out well. I'm trying to think where our next, I might start with some thrill rides and see what we got. Got a scrambler already. Do we have a pirate ship anywhere? I don't think we did, but do a quick look around. I don't see one. Oh, there it is. Right in the middle of the lake. Kind of neat. So let's not do that one. I know we have an Enterprise. I don't remember seeing a free launch. Oh, and never mind. There it is. I think a lot of the default throw rides they've already had built in here, which makes sense. So those are our thinking. I didn't see a motion simulator. Let me double check here with the rides. So see if there's something that might. There's already a. I didn't know there was already a haunted house here too. Why is this not being or let's say, alright, so they just fixed it, never mind. But yeah, that's yeah. Trying to think of what else we could do. Let's bump up our research so that we can get a few more rides going here a little bit quicker. We could do, since we have the face-off cars, we should have the compact coaster. Instead of actually building a boomerang, we could build a just a normal coaster and use the face-off cars so that, depending how you want to experience the ride, you can ride either forward or backward for the entire ride. That might be kind of an interesting idea, so let's do that. Alright, we'll go ahead and we'll turn it out of the station. We'll go up first. And then we'll level it out. Where do I want to put my chain? Let's do the chain. We can go up one more before we have to level it out, though. Turn it. Go up a little bit more. We'll go up to 80 feet, and then we'll drop it. We can turn while we drop, because I think that'll work. And we'll go down a little bit faster than the last one did. We'll bank it first just to try to lose some speed, because this thing's gonna be screaming down that hill. We'll do a vertical loop to the left. I didn't think we could. Oh, we can make it there. Let's do that. We'll do a vertical loop there. What else can we do? So we can inline twist, half loop. So we can do something like a half loop. We might do an inline twist a little later, but let's do this. Well, of course, to the right, and then do another half loop just to get it. Kind of want to keep this coaster a little more compact, just so that we don't take too much room up. We can try to squeeze in either something like a big Giga coaster or something like that over the whole park or something like that. So I want to kind of keep this one compact to this little area here. So we got that going. Let's see here. Drop. I think we're still going to be moving pretty quick through here. So let's go large helix up, just to slow down a little bit more. We'll put in some. We'll put in a photo there, and then we'll put some. Oh, that's not the way I wanted to go. Let's give it at 50, just so that we can keep it going this way. I'm trying to think here. We're going to have to either. I'm thinking we can either try to bring it around and back up, and then bring it back in. Try to use some of this area up, or we could bring it here. I think I like the idea of taking it the other way first, because then we can bring it down around here, over, and then back around. We might have to do a smaller hill over here just to get it to finish out, but I think that's a little bit easier way to do that. Let's go down and curve it. We'll go up, 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 up. Level it out. I hope it makes that. If not, we can always change that here in a second. Or do we go underground with it? Or why don't we have to even go underground? It's already 10 foot off the ground. We should be able to just go underneath it. See through scenery, please. Alright, so no, we're going to have to go either underground or overground. Kind of like going underground with it, though. Just for that little bit. Roll it out. Then go back up. And then we can get rid of the scenery now like that. I'm thinking maybe we just go ahead and turn it into another smaller left hill. Kind of parallel to that one. Dang it. Alright. Go. Hopefully it makes it through this one. If not, we'll have to redesign this a little bit. We won't make this one as tall, just because we can, let's go down one more before we turn it like that. And then we can go up, up. Just kind of level it out like this. Curve it around like that. One more small hill. And then we can go up, up. Well, Why don't we do this? We'll level it out here. We'll do brakes, 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 turn it, and then we can do blue. Did I miss that? I did. So let's do that. We'll do block brakes here, then turn it in like that. And so let's give it a test because I have no idea this is going to work. But I am going to use the face-off cars so that once again you can either ride it forward or backwards. I think that'll be quite an experience. I think it'll add quite a bit more excitement, and I think it just makes the coaster a little more interesting to use the coaster in a way you probably wouldn't think of beforehand. Try to speed the game up a little bit so we can get back to this. So we can get this going a little bit. So I really want to see how this kind of the pacing of it and see how it looks. Looks like it's going through pretty quick. Yeah, I don't think that turn needs any banking, but I think, yeah, I like how that I like how it looks. I might repaint it though, because I don't know if I like the light blue and green. Once again, I'm having issues with the name, so I like this paint scheme on how that looks. So I'm wondering if maybe something. I'm thinking either. Like Face Off is a great name, just because the cars we're using, or maybe I don't know, something with back, or like forwards or backwards. I'm going to play around with the colors. Maybe something will come to mind if I paint something a little bit different here. Nice dark orange, maybe. Paint the stream colors, do the bright orange and bright. I'm losing my voice again. Do the bright orange and dark blue. Kind of like that, and then have the cars like that. I think how else I want like name for this one. A Face Off. Maybe call it like backwards, but to spell it really wrong, so it looks kind of cool. Call it backwards. You know what I could call it, since you're facing each other, or at least in the middle cars, call it face to face. I think that'll work. At least for now. I like how the whack bar. Alright, yeah, I'll have whack bards. Sounds like something in Dungeons and Dragons that you do to one of your characters. You just whack them. Call it the whack bards. There we go. I think that works. And then let's go ahead and raise our prices because since we put in we'll go up to $50. Not having too much of an issue with money. Our guest count's actually pretty decent for what little we actually. I mean, the park itself is not bad, but for if you look at the first one, we had a lot. We had a lot of rides in that first one. We were having issues getting people in. Do a drink stall. I think that works well. Yeah. I think this will work. Let's look for another area. We haven't really gotten any new coasters though. That's what kind of not really annoys me. We do have the suspended swinging coaster, which are typically let's work on the paths while we talk. Are typically smaller coasters because usually they're not really based on speed. They're based on how having the corners, how they feel, because they make the car swing out more. I don't know. That one might not be bad for a smaller area. Maybe over that lake, we do something like a flying theme coaster, like it had the biplanes going. That might be a fun one to do, like over by the kids area. Maybe do a smaller coaster for them. Might be kind of fun. Just take care of the that really quick here. Trying to keep an eye out for anything else. Looks like that was kind of our troubled areas. And then let's get this guy, because I think he might be the one walking over here. Let's go ahead and just have him do that one as well. And then we'll go ahead and start working on our next ones. Which I think, the hyper twist is kind of what I was waiting on. I think we put the swinging coaster on hold for now. We do a hyper twist. And the hyper twist I'm kind of a fan of, because once again, Goliath, from Six Flags is there. Nitro was one of them. These are all like Six Flag coasters. So I'm gonna make my own, Robbie version of my own coaster here. So this 15 foot off the ground here. Let's see. I'd like to try to use as much of this water as I can. Even if that doesn't add any more excitement. Game-wise, I always think that when you got a coaster going very fast over water, people tend to enjoy that. So let's go ahead and drop it down. Let's get a little speed coming out of the station here. Bank it, and then we'll have it start going up then. I don't think I can't make this thing anything steeper. There's a way you can where you put a piece of chain and then you do a hill or taller hill up and then go back to a chain, taller hill up. You can do it like that, but since I like it a little more realism, I would rather have this straight chain hill here. What kind of specials can we do? Helixes and on-ride photos. Alright, so this is going to be more of a airtime coaster, which is totally fine with me. Let's go ahead and drop it. Let's like that. Run it along here just to add more time to it. Oh, and Robin Hood is in the way. Let's go ahead and do that. We can do a straight down. So let's go ahead and do straight down because we don't have I don't think we have a coaster yet in the park that does straight down. So let's go ahead and do it there. Just add a little bit more to it. And then as all we put a photo there because that's usually where they're screaming the loudest and usually get the best photos there. And then we'll have them kind of smooth. We'll do that kind of larger transition because just to let them keep a little bit more speed as they come up over that hill. And then, so we're going 70, we're going to 60. I'm okay with that. We'll drop it, and then we'll have them bank, and then do a large turn out this way towards the back of the park. Level it off, turn it. We can do the large corner like that. Bring it back up. We'll bring it up to about, let's go up a little bit faster. Bring it back up to 55 feet. Since we're out of money, we'll have to take a smaller loan again. Let's do another 20,000 because even with the, we're only paying $200 a month for loans, so maybe $400 now. So, and if we're still building rides that we can max out our park rating on, I'm okay with that. It looks like we still got plenty of advertisement going. Let's go ahead and just advertise for the park. We'll just go ahead and do it for 6 weeks. That should bring a lot more people in, hopefully. And then we'll just go down. Won't let me go down there. Can I go across here? I can. How far can I be down, though? So I can't really go much past that. So I have to go at 55 feet, which is okay. Over, then we can get back down. roll it back out to flat there. Can we even do, we can do a large helix up, which may not be a bad thing to do. Yeah. Hopefully, I'm thinking maybe that I redo this a little bit to make this a little bit taller. We have a little bit, you know, a little bit bigger first hill. I kind of like that idea of it. We'll roll it down. Just kind of back down to where we need to be. And then we'll go brakes, brakes, straight, and then block brakes. And maybe a large corner and back to the station. Alright, I like it. Hopefully this will hold up to a test. See how this operates now. So I figured it'd be going a lot faster than this. So yeah, I think what we need to do is just redesign that first hill so we can get a little more speed out of it, just so that that we can get it going faster. 20 minutes. All right, so we got a mechanic already heading over because I think we have some other amount of patrol. Okay, we'll have one more out there. Let's go ahead and redesign the first hill here, or this part right here. So we will need it to go up. 100 foot. Is that lined up? Is kind of the big question here. That might be lined up, and if it is, I'd be okay with that. Yeah. Alright, let's try that. So we went from 75 feet to 110 feet. That should, fingers crossed, give us a little bit more speed out of this. I'm also okay with running 3 trains on this coaster just because right now the block brakes right behind the station is open, so that's the last time it's going to stop, and I think this works out a lot better. It's a lot faster. So yeah, I think I like that a lot better than the other one. Let's just let it cycle through so we can get the stats on it. 60 miles an hour is not bad. Yeah, I mean, that works. High excitement rating, high intensity rating, low nausea rating. I don't think you can get much better than that. Let's go ahead and build the queue path. Every once in a while I'll just completely blank on what I'm trying to do. Go like that, and we'll build the exit like so. And there we go. Open it up. And now we have to come to the all-important name. And I have no idea what to name this one. We could do something like, since there were water, we could call it something watery. Could do something like skimmer, or what else could we call it? Call it something like no, I think call it something called like Phoenix. I think Phoenix would be a great name. I think I'll name it Phoenix because, you know, like the color scheme of it. Phoenix. I think it works. So call that one done. Let's look at our park admission. We'll go ahead and crank it up to $60. So once we get the next ride done, we can just set it at our max and just leave it alone for now. Let's see here. How's our advertisements going? Since we just built the new ride, Phoenix, we'll go ahead and advertise for it for 6 weeks. We'll keep it up with the rest of them. And then we'll go ahead and work on that swinging coaster, which, funny enough, has one called the Flight of the Phoenix. And we'll do this one as a plane themed one. And we'll call it like water boat or water taxi or something like that. Just something kind of small, nothing too major. It's still gonna be a fun little ride, though. I think we'll go to 50 feet on this one. Turn the corner here, and then we'll drop it down. And then I don't think we do anything. Yeah, we can't do anything outrageous with this. So this will be based on, and there's no banking. I forgot about that. So let's do maybe a helix up to the right here. And we'll drop it down. Turn it kind of a little bit less sharp so that don't get whiplash coming through here. Alrighty, we'll go through there. Maybe kind of S-curve it a little bit, just so they get that little, back and forth action that they do with a, kind of like that with a swinging coaster. There's nothing really else we can, nothing special. So let's give it another hill, something like this, and we'll drop it back down. Let's go ahead and turn it. Yeah, I'm tempted to just do a sharper turn here, and then just have them do a big loop back over the water, and then do one more bunny hop, and then bring it back into the station from here. Level it off there. We'll have to something like that, and hit brakes, and then block brakes. There we go. Throw the entrance and exit up. Let's see. We do have the biplane ones, which I was hoping for. We'll go ahead and do we have... Okay, it's on blocks. So let's try it out and see what happens. Let's speed up time here. All right. So far, nothing too exciting. But good pace so far. I like how it's looking. That hill might be a little violent, but that's I think that still works. Yeah, I think we call it water taxi because for once I actually can think of a name within 10 seconds of finishing it. There we go. And so because of water, since we're calling it water taxi, I'll paint it to look like a taxi. We'll do the red will become yellow and the purple will become black. Maybe we paint the track a little bit different color. Maybe we do a light blue for this one, and maybe white. And that might work. Go ahead and open it up, and then we got to build the path here. Path might be a little difficult because of where it's at. So I'm okay with the exit coming straight out like that. Oh, so but it's even, so I can do this, and I'm okay with that. So there we go. Water taxi's in there. Looks quite nice. I like it being over water too. Makes kind of just, usually you can't use a lot of that either. It's a lot of it's either you can usually use either water ride, something like that to fill it up. But to put a coaster like that, I kind of like it. So we got plenty of guests coming in. We're actually making a profit this month, which is a miracle. Because of course, I guess a lot of that was not, let's do it. Let's go ahead and bite the bullet on that one. I guess a lot of that was, could have been built the month previous, and then we just kind of finished up that month. The only thing about putting a water ride in here, we have rowboats, which, I'm kind of iffy about. However, we can do like a track. Maybe they have either the jet skis or something like that. We can make it a little bit more thrilling. We have run along the shore here. And then we'll turn straight, turn here, turn straight, and turn. Straight, and we'll turn it. And we can go there, straight there. We'll just have to do a straight U-turn here. Have it go back. There's that taken care of, and that. So we got that. We'll put the entrance here, exit here. We'll just call it the boat hire. Take the one off. What kind of boats do we have? So we have bumper boats. That might be nice. We'll do bumper boats because, why not? That works, so we'll go ahead and open it up. We gotta put the entrance and exit in. There's that done. And we'll put the queue path in here. Yeah, I said that we were kind of done with this area, but apparently we weren't. I think that fills it out just a little bit better so that we can use this lake area to the best as we can. Alright, so where do we want to build next at? We're getting a magic carpet here soon. So we'll have a new throw ride to put in. So I think we can put that, maybe some running here. That doesn't take up too much space. But we got the steel twist coaster, which I'm kind of a fan of because you can do quite a bit with that. I'm thinking we could maybe build it back here and have just one path that goes back and forth between that one. I think we should do that. So let's go ahead. Kind of looking at some of the ride ideas that they're bringing. Just to get some ideas to see what they have. When I actually originally was doing some parks, if you ever need like assistance, this is like one of the smaller coasters you can build. So that's a small area over here. So this is a small one I built. I for one of the campaigns that money was no object, I think I built 30 or 40 of these just to try to get through the scenario because I had tried 2 or 3 times. And you can build these in a grid where one will attach the next one, and they link up. If you look pretty much station to station, they'll just sit side by side by each other, and that's how I completed that map. It just took a long time to do it. However, let's see here. I'm kind of looking at some. That's kind of neat with the loop and the inline twist together. Kind of like that. Let's go ahead and let's get our advertisements back up and going. Just so that we have that coming into the park at all times. These are the relatively cheap ones. We'll do hot dogs this time. So we got an advertisement going again. Let's go ahead and build. Oh, look at that. So we got an award for the best coasters. I think that might be the first time I got it, at least in recent memory. I know I've gotten it before in some of the other parks I've done off stream, but yeah, that's kind of neat. I guess building custom coasters really can help out sometimes. So we'll go ahead and open that up. We'll go ahead and at this point, unceremoniously, just going to open that up. Nothing really too major about the magic carpet, but it's still a neat little ride. Let's see here. So let's go ahead and we'll put the steel twister back here. And I might call it steel twister and make it like like a tornado, like runaway ride kind of themed. I think that'd be kind of fun. Raise it off the ground here just a little bit. Now what we could do, and I think this is what we'll end up doing, is I could build the just kind of build a straight up hill. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it and actually have it come up by the railroad tracks here, and put the chain lift over there, just so that we get a little bit more room to go up with it. So I got a feeling this is going to be a pretty fast ride in and of itself. We'll go to 110, just like we did on the last one. We'll go ahead and turn. I'm trying to think. So this is the reason I like this one quite a bit, is that you can do so much with it. Now, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to do the launch lift hill because of just kind of the restraints on it. I guess what we could do is actually do like a launch lift hill, do like a corkscrew backwards. I'm thinking about it. Do like a corkscrew backwards, and then let's try it. Do the corkscrew backwards, and then into a just to cut it back so we can actually start going downhill now. We'll only go up to like maybe 80 feet with this one, because we have to level it off first before we can actually do that. We might have to, so maybe a half loop into a barrel roll, maybe. We can't do an inline twist here. Never mind. I was thinking if we could do that, but I think maybe a barrel roll to the left, and then we'll have to. So that puts it right back in line with the lift hill. I'm wondering if we could just do another half corkscrew to the right here, and then we can start dropping it from there. I think that might work. We'll give it a try, and if it doesn't work, we can always, since all we have to do is build the hill back up, do the turn, and then drop it down. I'm okay with that. Drop it just a little bit. You know what? We might be able to get away with doing this. Yeah, there we go. Make the ride look a little bit more smoother. And then we'll go, what can we do with this? Put the photo section in because, it's always important. We'll go up with this. I'd like to get it back over here a little bit more. And I really don't want to get people too sick on this ride, but, that happens sometimes. Drop this. Yeah. So I wanted to slow it down just a little bit so we can turn it. And then go down. Let's go down like this. Turn it, and then we'll do the loops and start doing stuff like that over here. Straighten it out first. And then we could try to do I kind of like, I have an idea, and I don't know how I'm going to pull this off, and I want to try it. So what I want to try to do, I'm going to keep it at this height. I'm going to try to do what they call barrel rolls right in a row, and I'm going to try to see if I can do 2 loops going over those. I saw it in, saw it like that. Might be a bit much. We're going to try it, though. Let's see here. So they're going to be rolling like this. They're going to be rolling. So I want to do a barrel roll to the right just to keep that going here. I don't think we're going to quite have the room there to do it unless we back it up quite a bit more. I'd like to keep that like that and then curve it. And then we'll do the barrel to the right. The second, see, we're not having enough room for the loops. So let's go ahead and just build it out like this. Flatten barrels to the right. Barrel to the right. Bank it again. For some reason it's letting me build outside the park there. I'm not going to question it because it's going to let me. But the problem is now is it's trying to get those loops to sync up there. So I want to try to maybe try to pull it out just a bit more from the station. Like there. And then we'll straighten. And then we'll do the barrel rolls. And turn it. So let's build just out here just a little bit. Turn it a bit more. We'll have to drop it. I think we'll have to do the second, this corkscrew first, which I'm okay with. Do up and do the vertical loop to the left. Beautiful. And then we'll turn it. Might need the larger turn for this one just to get it to the right area. I think I've kind of missed that just a bit. Yeah, what I'm going to do is I want to bring this back. We're going to have it run just a bit under on the bank here. Then turn it. We'll have it go up. Yeah, there we go. I like that a little bit better. It looks practically insane, and technically it is. But, you know, this is why we have video games like this, so we can do crazy stuff like this. Let's see, what else can we do? I don't think I really want to... let's go up. I'd rather not do a helix. Let me turn it real quick. And then go back up, up, up. And we'll just kind of keep it. So I don't know how fast we're going to be able to go. We're going through here. I don't know. Maybe I should start looking and try to get back to the station here. Maybe if we can turn it like this. Bring it back over. That's what I'm afraid of. Is I don't quite think, unless we can bank it, bring it around. And then we'll just bring it like this. So I think that'll work. But it's like, I don't know if anybody else out there is tried streaming on Twitch. One of the things they recommend you do is just start a store, which I don't understand that, because, I mean, would it be nice to have a store to sell like merchandise from, you know, to help me? It would, but at the same time, it's like, what would you do? I think it'd be hilarious to just do a list of just roller coaster names that I couldn't think of, just crossed out. At least I think that'd be funny. Let's see. It's going pretty good. Ooh. I don't know about that drop, though. That might be a little fast. I might have to... What I might do is just cut some of this out and just make it normal hill up. That might work a little bit better. So we get the results a little bit faster here. Yeah, we're going to have to change. I think, if I had to guess, it's probably that negative. Yeah, the vertical and lateral G's just go crazy right here. So let's go ahead and change that up a little bit. Okay, let's try that and see how that works. vertical G's is what I'm looking at for this one. That still looks a little fast for what we're looking at. Let's see what we got first. I guess what I can do, honestly, the top of the hill in there, it doesn't look as bad as it did. So let's do this. We'll, 2 more, so we know we can make it no problem. And then we'll test it, make sure it works, and see how it goes now. And it doesn't make it. All right, so now we know. Let's go ahead and we'll replace those 2 there. The lift hill, that is. And then we'll go ahead and just replace those back. And what we'll do is down here, right beforehand, we'll put brakes. Seems kind of counterintuitive, but put 67-mile-an-hour brakes there. I'm just trying to slow down the pace a little bit. And actually, I did think of the name while I was building the loops. It's called Thread the Needle, because that's what you're doing between the loops there. So let's go down. Looks like a little bit more tame. Maybe not. We'll see here in a second. Yeah, we're still having issues. I think. Let's go ahead and close it back down. We'll work on the brakes here. So I think we're doing it on maybe 54 miles an hour. There we go. We'll try it like that. Because it looks like that's where we're having a lot of the issues, is right after that hill. That is going way too fast. It looks a lot better now, just with pacing and everything like that. Yeah, I think I like that a little bit better. Cool. Alrighty, so I think we're done with this one. Let's go ahead and put the entrance and exit in. We'll go along the rail line here so that people can enjoy the railroad while they're waiting for the ride. There, and then we'll go across. Just have it follow each other. That'll help. I'll just build this one straight across here. I want it to come right there at that intersection. So, yeah, I think that'll work a little bit better. Intensity is kind of high, but people are excited to ride it. I'm okay with that. Let's go ahead and let's crank up the amount. Let's at least make it 2 trains. I can only make it 1 train. This is one of the drawbacks I don't like about this coaster, is that they the launch hill is not considered a block section. So what I can do though is go back here, delete that one, and make it a chain hill. Hopefully that works, because then make sure it still makes up that hill though. So yeah, so it mixed up just fine. So I'll close it again, and then hopefully I can block circuit mode. So saying it only has 2 blocks right now, we at least need 3. If you don't, if you know how blocks work, you have to have at least 1 more block than the amount of trains you have, because that's how they space them out. So where else could I put a block section at? Just to maybe right there? I don't plan on using it, but try it there. Didn't say how fast it was going to be going through there. Let's test it. So it's showing 2 trains now. And that's why this is why I am like, I would rather have 2 sections, is that this train will not stop here ever. Just in case for some reason this train gets stuck here, it will, but at the same time, this should automatically just roll into the station and have no problems. So yeah, I mean, right now it's not even through the loops yet, and it's already back in the station. So that's why I'm not too worried about that one. So yeah, I think that we're ready to open that one up. And let's work on our advertisements here. We'll do Thread the Needle because that's our new one. Doing just okay on money right now. Make that 8 weeks so that we don't have to pay all those all at once. We're actually getting close to our goals here. I'm kind of happy about that. Let's see, what else? What other parts of the park we need to fill in? I'm actually kind of proud of the coasters I built today. The Crazy 8 and all these, it seemed like they would fit there. They may not be the exact ones that go there, because I have no idea what would actually go there. But I think they fit in with the landscape. I think, guests are starting to enjoy them. It looks like Phoenix has already got almost a full line already. I think we need to put a first aid station over here too, which is no big deal. That's a bathroom. Don't need one of those. There we go. Let's get another handyman over here just in case. Got another throw rod we can put in. I think we should find just a smaller place for it so we can put that in. Got that taken care of. Let's see. Maybe right here might not be a bad place for the swinging inverted ship. Let's do that. Right there, maybe. We'll put it there. Put the entrance and exit. Open it up. And then we'll go ahead and snake this path just along there so that we have a little bit longer line. Yeah, I like that. So really the only part we have back here is just this little land here. And we could probably squeeze a smaller coaster. Ooh, almost knocked my mic over. Almost could probably squeeze a Whack Barge is closed down right now. I don't know if it would be a good place for a coaster, just kind of how it's shaped. Let's go ahead and make that every 20 minutes. Let's go ahead and hire a couple more mechanics just so they're roaming around. We got a mechanic coming over to help, although he's on the other side of the park. I noticed the railway was also broken down as well. It's probably just a vehicle malfunction or something like that. Why is that not back going then? Oh, there it goes. Must have just fixed it when I clicked on it because it's, oh well, that works. Let's see here. Anything other things we can do? Well, because we're almost at we're 180 people away, give or take. We haven't put a go-kart track in. I noticed that. At least I don't think we have. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think we have a go-kart track here, though. I don't see one. So let's go ahead and just put a small go-kart track. Put it right back here because it seems like this area could use something in there. And, a go-kart track, it can attract quite a few people. Even though the lines are usually take forever. Turn, straight, turn, along straightaway here. Just make a simple little circuit here. Nothing special. There we go. Turn it in and we'll do a couple more stations. There and there. Get our queue path going here. I always have to make these extremely long for some reason. I never understand why these are always so. I mean, I kind of understand why they're long, but I kind of wish there was a little bit easier way to do that. But exit path going there. How many carts we got? 14 carts. Let's do 2 laps. It's kind of a bigger circuit. Okay with that, we'll open it up. What I want to also do is put in some TV monitors here. That'll help just to keep the guests a little more entertained while they're waiting. Who knows what they put on those? But I know, like, when I used to work, they used to put, like, not really park advertisements, but, like, trivia and facts about the park, as well as, you know, things that are going on in the park. Just sort of fun stuff that you would see kind of generically around, but it would still be kind of fun. But after a little bit, you'd always kind of, you know, because I used to work in when I worked in merchandise, they actually have one in one of our stores, and when they would always come up, they would always keep the volume a little lower in the store, but we always knew it's like, all right, this trivia question has this answer. This is, you know, what's going to come up next. This is what's they're going to show next. You know, this is the trivia they're going to give, or, you know, so, you know, it probably only took about maybe 2 or 3 weeks for it to get old, but for a guest that's only been there once or twice, it's kind of neat. All right. Really, it's kind of more of a waiting game right now because, you know, we're getting close on guests. We have some advertisements we can do just to get hopefully we get that last little push, get us over our 3,500 mark. Let's do that. And we'll crank this back up. I haven't built very many food stalls in this game. I mean, not that we've really had to. There actually is quite a few that I've seen around. There's one over here, and I think there's one over by Phoenix that's actually pretty nice too. So we really haven't had to, like, I think there's one right here, if I'm not mistaken, see through the scenery here. You know, they're not huge. They're still kind of neat though, just to see, you know, just to have this around the park. What's this one right? Oh, this is Goliath. I'm trying to think of what that coaster was. Oh, like that's what they consider Goliath. That's actually one of the coasters I have actually heard of. I just didn't know it was in this park. So we're about 350 left. Take a little water here. Let's see, what else can we do while we wait? Is there any more thrill rides? It looks like I think we get all the thrill rides. We get all the gentle rides. I don't think we did. Yeah, 'cause we never put our bumper cars back in. I just realized that. Well, poop. All right, let's surround. Let's kind of make this water's edge area a little more. Some of the general rides. I think that would be kind of fun. Go. Get a submarine ride. Classic. I don't think we're going to put any more water rides in this park, but that's okay. So what other? So it's going through. Let's go just do shops and stalls. I don't think we'll get anything more, but we'll see. Let's see, we've got a carousel already. We have those. We do. We don't have a circus though. Let's see here. Can we sneak a couple? We can't sneak a path in here, so we'll do that. Put the entrance here and exit there. So free circus mode. What other mode could a circus be in? Could it be like continuous circuit mode? I don't know how that works. Alright, let's go there. Place it there. Out like that. And there we go. So we got a couple more. Do we get all the... Oh, I'm starting to lose my voice again. Thankfully, we're getting towards the end of the stream now. I don't think we have a Ferris wheel. Oh, we do have a Ferris wheel right there. Never mind. Taking that back. I think we've built all of those except for the monorail cycles. Coasters we've worked on a little bit. Thrill rides, I think we've built everything. Water rides, we haven't really touched that much. And then the general rides are, you know, kind of there. But we're getting towards there, so hopefully... with what we got, we can come close. If not, we can build 1 or 2 more rides. Now, it seems like we're having a lot of issues with mechanics, so let's go ahead and hire just a couple more. Right in here might not be a bad little, just for a real small coaster. I'm not talking. like a boomerang or something. We don't have a looping coaster in this park. Let's build one we did like the Deja Vu. I don't remember what we called the last one. Shoot. Just the single, double loops. What is that? Every time it seems like we're over here, the carousel breaks down. That's hilarious, but at the same time sucks. But Crazy 8 still has not been fixed. Why is nobody fixing my rides? Oh, they're fixing it right now. Good. Let's get somebody on the phone then. If not, 75 feet. This is the same color scheme as the one we built last time too. That's kind of funny. And we'll do that. I think we'll be okay with that. Entrance and exit. And we'll go ahead and test it. Oh, can't because I have it in the wrong mode. Nope, that's not it. Reverse incline. There we go. There we go. Make sure this works just as well as it should. I think we're going to name this one Deja Vu because, you know, kind of fun. It's called Deja. Yeah, I think that's how you say that or spell that. I know it's a little bit of an odd spelling because it's not an English word, but yeah, I think that that works. Open the ride up. I know there's quite a few coasters out there that's called Deja Vu. Usually they're boomerang coasters. So yeah, I think that might be the last where we put in. Let's put a bathroom and stuff like that over here, just to help kind of work on this area just a little bit. Make sure the bathrooms are free. Looks like we just hit the magical number, and there we go. So we just barely got 2 in, but we got two parks in today, so that's awesome. Let's go ahead and name this one. So what we'll do, we only have a couple more minutes, so I'll put down the first aid station like I was going to, and then we'll just go through the park again just to see how what we did. Just gonna recap it. So over here, this is where we started out. Built the kids area essentially. Really some of the smaller rides, nothing too special. Then we built the water taxi, the coaster over here a little later on. Quite a neat little coaster. Boat hire, stuff like that. Some more general rides. A lot of this was already here when we started. However, this is kind of one of the bigger coasters we built called Phoenix. I like the ride. It's pretty quick. However, I think not my favorite one in this park. It's got to be one of these 3 over here. So this one is Thread the Needle, Launch Hill, 5 inversions. I love how the barrel rolls, the loops kind of interact with each other here. Love how that works. And then you've got Awards Back over here, which is the unique experience of being able to ride this ride forward or backwards. Painted in lovely orange and blue like the stream. I love that look. I still think though my favorite has to be Crazy 8. This one it's just a simple looping coaster that which I forgot we have built one already because I built it. And I think this has to be the favorite because the interlocking loop looks nice. The ride paces well. It's just well laid out for what the area it's in. I think it works out perfectly. So that is what we've done in this park. So we actually did complete 2 parks in this stream. We completed the Holland one, and then we also completed Great America as well. So I think I'm going to end the stream here. Let's go ahead and flip over to this screen here. So guys, thank you for coming out to the stream today. Really appreciate it. Seems like people are really liking Roller Coaster Tycoon 2 on this channel. So I'll probably keep that on a Tuesday for now. We might start running out of scenarios here soon, so we might just change it up a little bit. However, I wanted to say for Thursday stream, Thursday we are actually starting a series in a game that I have loved forever and I've never beat. It's called Evil Genius. It's an older, maybe 2004-ish game. So I want to play that game. Evil Genius 2 was announced last year and it's supposed to be coming back sometime this year for Evil Genius 2. I'm really excited for that game. So to kind of get excited for it and get hyped up for it, I decided to go back and try to beat number 1 as well. So we're going to be starting that on Thursday. If you're interested in that game, it's a really fun game. Think in James Bond or something like that. Instead of playing the hero, you're playing the villain. You're playing as either like Dr. No, Goldfinger, something like that. And I think it's going to be a fun stream to do. So look forward to that. We're starting that on Thursday. I think it'd be the 5th of March. So if you're interested, please come back. Thank you guys for coming out today. I do appreciate it. I hope to see you guys on Thursday then. But thanks for coming out again. You guys have a great day, and I'll see you on Thursday.